All right. Well, my camera's not working. Welcome to the Friday night broadcast. And I've got to try and turn my cameraman on. So what's going on here? Camera off, camera on. Well, I can see myself down in the corner. Sorry, people. Hope I don't have to start the show again. Let's see what we can do here. Looks like I've got sound. Don't have any viewers. And my control room is not working. Crap. There we go. All right. Now, if anybody saw my announcement, I expect you'll be coming in soon. And right now it looks like I've got no viewers and my camera just went out again. So what's up with that? The camera is working. Oh, mercy. We've got technical difficulties. Control room. And doesn't seem to be working. Ah, there we go. I hope it stays this time. Okay. So anyway, Friday, February 9th, 2018. It's my son's 33rd birthday today. That's a sort of a benchmark. Don't know if I ever expected to see him get this old or not. But anyway, I just put a announcement up saying that you had to be able to access the At the Bench thread in Stunthangar in order to get the links to come in here, because we don't send out notifications anymore. And the same goes true. There goes my camera again. The same goes for the chat box for YouTube. You have to have a link to get into the chat box for YouTube. Right now, the damn thing's not working for me. My camera keeps going out. I'll wait and see if anybody else comes in. We don't really need to be able to see me, but as long as we can see all of y'all. Says there was an error loading my app. I'm going to close the chat box for a second, see what happens. Hit cancel, and I come back. So today was beautiful weather, but the rain's supposed to move in this weekend and rain all the way from now to Wednesday. So I guess it will be good shop time this weekend, and the Olympics have started. Curious to see if any of you guys likes to watch the Olympics. I took a survey while I was out and about today, and asking people if they like to watch the Olympics, and all I got was no's. Nobody's interested in it. But hell, I mean, it's something different. We don't get to see it but once every couple of years, and I think it's pretty cool. Get to see people from different countries doing all kinds of weird sports like curling, all kinds of stuff like that. But if it's going to be raining for the next 3 days, that's as good of an excuse as any to sit in front of the TV in your pajamas and drink coffee, beer, or whatever, and watch the Olympics. And my TV just started talking without my invitation. I'm going to turn it down. As you all know, somebody come visit me. Freeze in the winter, so for as long as those canals have existed, the Dutch have skated on them to get from place to place to race each other. All right. Kill the TV. Got 0 viewers. So I'll hang out until we get some. I hope we're actually live. Let me flip over and check. Since there's nobody to talk to, I can just edit this portion out, I suppose, and see if I'm talking. We'll probably get some feedback while I do that. Ah, man, you can click into the video right in Stunthangar now. That's pretty cool. See what happens there. I'll stop this one on YouTube. It doesn't look like anything's happening. Okay, it isn't working. So we're going to reboot and restart. No watchers. Okay, we're going to reboot and restart. Oh. Hey, Jim. I got that squeaky mouse-like noise from you now. I was just about to reboot before you popped in. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, good. I was just about to reboot, so I don't know what's up. Did you get any kind of error messages or anything like that? Every time I say something, I hear that squeaky feedback. Nothing happens when your lips move. It only makes noise when I talk. Okay. I'll wait, Avaria, if you want to reboot. Okay, okay. That's what it sounds like. Okay, okay, Jim. Like Alvin and the Chipmunk. Okay, Jim's rebooting. Okay, so it looks like I got my picture back. I don't know what the problem with that was, but so I'm not going to reboot. I'm just going to wait till Jim comes back and see what happens. We still got nobody viewing. Don't know why. I guess most of the YouTube viewers only came in from YouTube notifications and they hadn't gotten the word yet, but we're just going to have to wait it out and hope they start understanding this is how you get in. Sooner or later, maybe most of them will read the post that I put in the open forum that explains everything. And okay, here comes Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Jim was just in here a minute ago and he couldn't get his microphone working. It sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks again. Like,
Yeah,
so,
I'm surprised it let me back in. It said that I was kicked out when all that stuff was going on before and all the people were jumping in and stuff. It kicked me out and would not allow me back in.
Oh, you mean the announcement I was making?
No, remember 2 weeks ago? I think it was a week ago tonight.
Yeah.
When,
Oh, that's because they had moderator controls. That was, you mean when the spammers were coming in?
yeah, and it booted me out and would
Yeah.
not let. And every time I tried to get back in, it said I was kicked out and I could not get back.
They booted everybody out, and it gives you a suspension, a temporary suspension too. So what I've done is started running the shows unlisted so that they don't get notified, because they subscribe to Sparky's YouTube site. So so I stopped notifications, and I wrote a thread in the open forum so that people could see that the only way to get here is through the At the Bench thread. And the only hook with that is that you have to be a member. You didn't used to, but now you have to be a member in order to access the link to this.
Okay, because I couldn't get in Monday, but today it had a thing where I clicked on it to rejoin or something. It let me back in, and now I can get back on because I couldn't get on Monday.
Okay. So did you click an old link to get into right now?
No, a new one. I went to Stunthangar. From Stunthangar, took me to the bench.
Okay, good. That's how it's supposed to work. And the YouTube guys that want to get in need to go to that same place and get their link to the watch page. In fact, it posts the whole video up there. So, I mean, like it embeds a view screen, so they don't even have to leave Stunthangar. It just pops up right in that window.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool for them.
Yeah, when I went into Chrome, something came up there when I wanted to go to Google, and then it just made me re-sign in. And once I hit that button, it took me automatically to Stunthangar. Then I went to your post, clicked on that, and it came back to Hangouts. And it let me.
All right, Jim. I don't hear Alvin and the Chipmunks anymore.
Good.
Good. All right, I can hear you too. Okay, so we're rocking and rolling now. Man, what a clusterfuck. I was just about to reboot my whole system. We wouldn't be here right now if I'd still been rebooting, but so Steve popped in while you were gone, obviously. And I will just have to wait and hope that the guys that hang out on the YouTube side get it figured out that they have to get the link from the At the Bench thread. So we'll see what happens. I heard somebody texting me a minute ago. It might be Minnesota Mike too. So I'm gonna walk over and get my phone. I left it in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
All righty.
How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good, Jim. What you been up to? Anything?
Oh yeah, trying to get an airplane finished for a contest next weekend.
Well, you must live down south then, huh?
Yeah, I'm going back to Dallas next weekend.
Oh, that's nice there.
Yeah, it is. It is. I grew up flying there, and then been out of it for about 35 years, and then I came to the team trials.
Yeah, I remember seeing you there.
You and Samantha, I remember. Anyway,
yeah, I seen you there. I didn't know for sure if people are showing up from all over. It was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was cool.
So, where you live? In Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana? You live in close by?
I'm in Texas. I'm about 3 hours west of Dallas.
Oh, okay. I remember you telling me now. Yeah, trying to remember where everybody lived.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So
you got a good place to fly there where you're at for practice and stuff?
Yeah, right in my backyard.
Well, you can't beat that.
No, that's pretty cool.
Advancing up the ladder pretty fast then.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to fly a beginner stunt in Dallas next weekend.
Cool.
It's been 35 years since I've flown stunt, so I guess that qualifies me to be a beginner again.
Yeah.
So
you get the whole pattern in, and then it'll be off to the races.
Yeah, we'll see.
Are you gonna fly?
If I don't
Twister
figure 9 it in. Yeah, right back here.
Yeah, that's nice looking. You did a good job on it.
Thank you.
You just got to get the engine in it and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
get it
all I
ready.
got left is I got to hinge the flaps, put the joiner wires in, hinge the flaps, and then mount everything, the gear and engine tank, uh, and then set up the control system.
I like that cheat call on there. Now it's painted, you can see it pretty good.
Oh yeah,
I remember seeing it at first, and it was hard to make out what was on there when it was in balsa. But once it's painted, it stands out real nice now.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
know.
put the clear coat on it today.
Is that dope finish, or did you use?
No, actually, what I did is it's got 2 coats of hairspray, which was the first thing I put on it.
Okay.
Sanded between each coat. Then 2 coats of gray primer, sanded between each coat, and then a coat of Kills high build primer, which is white.
Yeah.
I sanded it almost off, and then I put my coats of color on. And then today I put the Spray Max 2K Clear on it.
That stuff works nice, don't it?
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
Is the hairspray just to keep the primer from soaking into the wood so much?
That's exactly right, Rusty.
Okay. I know people have used hairspray for lots of different things, but I wasn't sure exactly what the reasons were.
Yeah, if you put that K2 Max in the refrigerator, it lasts for about a month.
Yeah, and I that's what I did. I used about half of it today, and it says it has a pot life of 48 hours, but I've heard of people putting it in the refrigerator and lasting about a month.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
That shop fridge I've got, it's cold as shit. So I might feel better about buying some of that, like $24 a can, you know, and only paint one little plane with it. So
yeah,
it's
that's weird.
expensive.
We're gonna get a bunch of planes ready and then paint them all, and it didn't
Yeah.
happen. So we did it, and I thought I'm gonna throw that in the refrigerator and see what happens. And I went back in and I could shake the can, it still worked. So
the way I am is that I could paint the plane, take it out and fly it and wreck it, bring it back home, rebuild it, and spray it again
that's
with the same thing.
that's exactly what we did. I hit the tail and knocked the rudder off, fixed it, touched it back up, and hit it with a little more clear. And it still worked. And then about a month later, I decided to shake the can in the fridge, and it was the ball bearing would go in there, but it was going real slow.
Yeah, I probably toast after that. It started to kick.
Yeah, and then I just set it out in the warmer weather, and it fully cured up in the can. So then I threw it away.
Yeah, I'd like to cut it open and see what it looks like. Well, it must compress the shit out of the propellant in there when it hardens.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I guess it's not like it expands. It just solidifies in the same shape. So
what it is it'll look like is epoxy when it's
yeah,
a cup. You'd think it was like epoxy, but really clear.
it looks like somebody's viewing us on YouTube. That's good.
Yeah, the paint factory. I'd take all that stuff and cure it up and weigh it out and see what the difference, stuff weighed. And you could take polyurethane paint and it'd have about the same properties as some epoxies and weigh the same thing. Everything weighs about the same. All clears weigh about the same. Even lacquer, if you dry it down so you have like a solid piece of lacquer in a 1 ounce cup,
Yeah,
it's the same as like polyurethane. Pigmented stuff weighs almost the same. It's crazy how close it is.
I didn't think it did. I thought it would get a lot lighter after it finally gassed off.
Now, because it's got to go to a certain solid, and then when you get there, it can't go any lighter once it turns to solid. Yeah, it does. And as it gasses off, it shrinks. So, but what we did at the paint factory is it goes by mils. So you paint on so many mils of thickness on something, and then once it dries and fully gases off, it's baked or whatever. And then we do a mill. They did a Mills test on it, and then we could weigh it and see what 3 mils of this would weigh.
Yeah.
Of all the stuff, and it all weighed about the same. And then from there, then it went through all of its tests for abrasion, for how well it would shine and stuff like that. How much, how hard it was to buff it up, and it can all be done. It can all be buffed and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd like to get my hands on some, but at the end, when before it shut down, they came up with a water-based lacquer, and it worked really good. It was just as tough. It shrank just as good and everything else. But there was
It
no
had to be it had to be cleared with something fuel-proof, didn't it?
Well, yeah, it would have the same. Actually, it had a little better effect with thinner. It stood up to thinner better because it had no thinner in it.
Yeah.
So thinner wasn't.
Then it would water if you wanted to. So.
Right. So, but water, once it was, I don't know, cured or whatever, the water wouldn't affect it anymore either.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good for when we did MEK rubs and stuff like that on it. You could take it, it wouldn't melt it down like regular lacquer. You put thinner on it, and it turns back into a liquid.
That's right. It does. It melts it completely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was some pretty cool stuff. The only problem they had was warping of the wood. So I had to still be sealed.
Yeah. Well, even dope does that.
Yeah, a little bit, but water will really raise grain and stuff like that. So they were finding out that they still had to use sealers and stuff like this that would seal the grain.
Yeah.
And you couldn't sand through it stuff, because if you then sprayed on water-based lacquer, it would raise the grain any place you sanded through the sealer. So, but yeah, they were using it just to get by the EPA stuff. They had to come up with something. And like the cancer causing thing. I mean, like I said before, when I got the prostate cancer, there was only 7 of us in the United States with that kind of prostate cancer, and we all worked at chemical factories.
Yeah, well, when I was in the office machines business, we used all sorts of solvents like MEK and trichloroethane, and I was always warned that breathing MEK fumes was real bad for your liver. And I don't know about cancer, but anything that goes in your liver stays in your liver. A lot of that stuff, I think.
Anything that says try on it and it has anything to do with chlorine, like chlorophane, that is what the real bad stuff is.
Yeah.
They got, I mean, I guess you can still get dry cleaning solvent, but even that has to be treated a certain way now.
Yeah, dry cleaning solvent is that stuff we used to kill bugs in a jar with in junior high school. What was it called?
It's a try something too, but
yeah, I can't remember exactly, but
it doesn't boil. It doesn't boil off and get into the air like some of the other stuff. Actually, in the dry, because we work on dry cleaning stuff, because they take and heat it. Well, they wash with it, and then to dry the clothes, they heat it. Then they run it through like a little air conditioner, cool it back off, and bring it back to a liquid, and then put it back in the tank. It's a sealed tank.
Yeah.
And yeah, that dry cleaning fluid, I'm not sure. They must run it through filters or something, because it seems like it would get dirty.
Yeah, they must have to filter it.
Yeah, so they must filter out all the crap out of it, and then, like I said, then it heats up with steam actually, and heats the clothes, and it evaporates all the rest of the solvent off. Then it brings it through. It's basically all it is a dryer, like for an air compressor.
Yeah.
The big, we call them big dryers. They just run the air through a cold coil, and it's the same thing.
Well, when the clothes get exposed to the cleaning fluid, then what's the process of getting the dirt off? You have to hand rub it or something?
No, it gets into that cleaning fluid, and that's what I mean. They pump that out, and then once
So they soak, I mean, they just soak the garment and then take it out, and then what, slosh it around and take it out to dry?
yeah, all it looks like is a regular wash machine, but instead of having water in it, it has the dry cleaning solvent in there. And they don't put any soap or anything like that. They just wash it in that dry cleaning solvent. Then they pump that out. And then, like I said, then it turns into a dryer. It just turns, and they heat that drum up really hot. And that drives off all the rest of the cleaning solvent. And it goes through that, what we call an air dryer kind of deal. It's just an air conditioner, runs it across the coil and turns it back to a liquid, and then they recapture it on a closed system.
Okay. I didn't know. I always wondered how they did that.
I did too. You know, when I got there, I'm like,
somebody took a rag and rubbed the stains and stuff one by one, but so they just agitate it like a washing machine, and then okay, that
it
sounds.
used to be in the old days, they would actually spray it on there and scrub stuff, but they're not supposed to do that anymore.
Yeah. Minnesota Mike just said he can't log into Stunthangar. I'm gonna text him a minute and see if we can figure it out.
Yeah, tell him to go to Stunthangar.
He can't log into Stunthangar.
Oh, I think he's gonna have a problem then.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through Stunthangar to get in, then into Hangouts.
Yeah, that's the way it is. But he doesn't go on Stunthangar much, I guess. I just asked him, "Is it your password?" So he's going to have to figure that out. If you know, a lot of people clear their cookies all the time, and that fucks you up if you don't let Chrome store your passwords off site, you know. And so that's what I do. And I guess Google has all of my passwords if they ever want to stab me in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, if they ever do some kind of covert watching operation on me, they'll be bored within hours.
Yeah, they'll die from boredom if they look at me too. I'm just an old guy that plays with toy airplanes and exposes myself on the internet way too much. I say we got 2 viewers now, so those people that are listed there are on YouTube, so that's good.
Yeah.
So hello, YouTubers. And yeah, Mike says that's just it. I wanted Sparky to remove me and resign. I can't remember any info for Stunthangar. Oh well, I'll talk to him about it later. I can't do it during the show though.
So Jim, your contest is next weekend?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you gotta fly. So you gotta fly and get it all hinged and stuff this weekend, huh?
Yeah, and hopefully I'll get a chance to fly it this week here at the house. But if not, but my event's not till Sunday, so Saturday morning I'll see if I can trim it. I'll see if I can get it trimmed and flying like it's supposed to. Hold right off the board, but I don't know.
Just make sure
it's been 35 years since I built it.
Just make sure it's nose heavy enough to be safe on your maiden flights, you know, and
absolutely.
That way you can get it back down if it goes crazy, so it won't go crazy on you.
Right.
Well, that was like the first Nats we went to, and the push rod come out of the horn on Samantha's little flight streak, and she pancaked it in and broke it in half. And I happened to buy a Brodak. Oh no, I got it for Christmas. I don't know why I brought it along, but I brought a super clown along. So we went to the hobby shop, got glue, and we built the super clown on the tailgate of my truck under the light off of the camper. And I got a little light that lights up on the back of the cab or whatever, shines into the box of the truck. So we built that whole plane the night before, got the engine on, all that kind of shit. Got up in the morning, took it there, and flew it. We didn't find out till later, but it kept quitting. It run away and quit. But the muffler, that's the only thing from India I ever got that was bad. The muffler was milled funny. And when you tightened it down, it pinched the cylinder. And it was a brand new engine and stuff. So it run fine without the muffler on it, but they wouldn't let us run without a muffler. So we ended up doing that. But she took third. I took sixth, or last, like she says, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom.
I don't know how many people are going to be in this contest in beginner, but I'm sure if I get a trophy, it'll be because I'm the only one there.
Hey, nobody that doesn't fly gets a trophy ever. And your mother doesn't.
That's correct.
Your mother doesn't know you didn't have to beat anybody, and so she'll think you're the best pilot.
Right.
She'll think you're a world champion. I'm so proud.
If I get a trophy, I'll just tell them to save it for the next contest.
Hey,
No.
Tom,
But I don't.
how did that nose ring come out?
What's that?
How'd that nose ring come out?
Man, I think come out sweet. I mean, it's the second nose ring I've done since I started building.
Oh, it looks nice.
I don't think it turned out too bad.
So that spinner worked pretty good, didn't it?
What's that?
So that spinner with a piece of sandpaper on it works pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It works great. I mean, I'm getting better at doing the nose ring. It's really hard to do. That's for sure, to get it like perfecto, you know?
Yeah. Jim Lee's is easier to use because it's got the little handle on it.
Yep.
But in a pinch, that flat back plate of the spinner, big spinner, works.
Yeah, I'll get me one. Now, you
But
guys
yeah,
got
in a pinch, that works fine.
You guys got a little secret or anything of how to trim these up for the prop?
I do. What brand is it?
That's APC
No, what brand is the spinner?
Durbro.
Not sure about Dubro. I know Great Plains puts a recessed shaped area with a stepped ridge inside of the cone that gives you a ridge to follow with your X-Acto knife, and then you can cut it out and expand it exactly one size on each side. Do you see anything like that?
Nope.
Well, you
I'll
just got to freehand it then.
Yep. Okay. That's what I have been doing, but I just thought I'd ask in case there was like a little trick or something I'm not seeing.
That's it. And try not to cut your thumb off with the X-Acto knife. But Great Plains is pretty soft.
I got
follow that ridge and do a perfect job. Yeah, there you go.
I got me a cutter.
Yeah.
It's it's only got 2 blades on it. All right. Well, I'm going to mute this for a minute.
Okay. I'm assuming you can still hear me. Try buying the Great Plains brand with the aluminum back plates, and they look really good. And they've got that ridge that you can use that helps guide when you carve it. That must be Steve's chatter in the background.
Must be.
None of my control apps are working tonight, so I hope I don't have to turn anybody's mic on or off or mess with their camera or sound. I don't know what the problem is.
When I came in here tonight, usually when I come in, it looks like my screen is darkened. I can still see myself.
Yeah, that's
It's
because
dark.
I've had it.
Tonight, when I came in, it was bright and
Yeah, that's because I've had it
right
restricted.
off the bat.
That's because I've had it restricted lately, but that's my cameraman app, and that app is not working tonight. And that's how I restrict people from coming in, so I can turn your camera on from over here and make you bright, and then give you the ability to turn your mic on. But every time I try to turn it on tonight, I don't get anything but black and a cancel button, and this app has failed to load. That worked at first for keeping the trolls out, but they figured out how to get in around that after a short while. But I don't even have that capability now. That's why we're running completely unlisted. And I think this will be okay. It's just that everybody's got to know you've got to be a member of Stunthangar and be able to access the at the bench thread to get the link to come in.
Yeah.
Ah, here comes Ron Hess. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
No sound tonight, Ron? Oh, well, that's okay. You can watch us.
That's got to be a simple something or other in Ron's software.
Yeah. Every time I've had a failure like that, either my sound or my camera, it's just been a matter of mousing up to the top, turning my camera or mic off, and then turning it back on, or going to the settings, gear looking thing, and picking a different mic, and then going back and then hitting save at the bottom and whatever. It's always fixed when my mic or camera didn't work, but we've had some guys in here. I mean, you were one, and there's been a couple of others who never could get their cameras and mics working. You had a compatibility problem or somebody?
Yeah, I changed browsers. I went to Google Chrome.
Yeah, that's the best one for this.
Browser. And that seemed to have made the difference for me.
If you are not using the Hangout plugin, then you have to use Chrome in a lot of cases. So if you're not using Chrome and you can't get everything to work right, then download the application called Google Hangouts. Get Chrome, or get Chrome, but you can go to most of your, you go to your Microsoft store, I guess, if you had Internet Explorer or whatever. But Chrome and Safari are the best. Either one of those, and it'll work fine right off the bat.
That made the difference for me when I went to Chrome for my browser.
Ryan, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Are you using Chrome? Yes, or are you not using Chrome? No. We must have a delay. Yes, you are using. Okay, Ron's using Chrome. Well, that should answer all those questions. Gotcha. I don't know. Gotcha. And we got a couple of viewers from YouTube. Here's Steve.
Yeah, I got a phone call.
Conversation died when you left.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, Ron Hess showed up though. He's microphone free again tonight, but he's gonna watch us, watch him, and talk about airplanes and stuff.
Yeah, Steve, you're the life of the party. When you leave, there's nothing left.
Yeah, Steve's still in the conversation. So is Terry.
And what is watch Tom not say nothing? I'm waiting for him to start swearing, trying to do that spinner.
And Wally, I don't know where Wally is, man. He could dominate a conversation pretty good too.
Yeah, did Charles get on Monday?
He came on for the first 15 or 20 minutes and then had things he had to do.
Yeah, usually Gerald gets on too on Friday nights.
Yeah.
But who knows
Well,
what everybody's doing.
He does YouTube enough to where I would think he'd get the notifications. I mean, he would know about the lack of notifications. Maybe I'll email him.
Oh, okay.
Let me pop my email up and send him one.
Did you get my email back, Rusty?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I hadn't been out to the shop to get anything.
Ain't no big hurry because it's so cold here. We got so much snow that we ain't gonna be doing. We won't even be running motors or try to run motors for another 2 months until it warms up a little bit. Especially small ones are hard to run when it's cold.
It was 75 degrees.
Yeah, those things are tough. Now
I don't even want to hear 75 degrees. That makes me feel bad.
It was amazing. The high tomorrow is going to be 40.
40? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second.
Well, Rusty, I guess Sparky got his G2135 yesterday.
Oh, you think so? Did it get that fast?
It said it was delivered. I sent him a tracking number. I kept dibs or track on it and said it got delivered yesterday. So maybe he'll come on tonight and confirm it.
Let's see. Let me open Stunthangar here, and I'll just give him the thread straight out. Oh, damn, I'm acting like a moron. I got the thread right here in front of my face. There we go. Copy that and send it to Gerald. There we go. All right. Sent Gerald an email. And oh, I got Minnesota Mike's email. Let me see if I can send it to him too. There it is. Okay, Minnesota Mike. All right. Getting the link for the tube site. And there you go, Minnesota Mike.
Oh, hell, I'm back again.
All right.
I got my damn credit card or my debit card stolen again.
Ah, crap. That sucks. Really? Well, you can go on your cell phone and turn it off as soon as you know it's been stolen these days. Do you have the bank app?
They shut it off right away. I went and got another card, but I forget that like Hulu was paid for. It just comes out of my debit card.
Yeah.
Well, Samantha goes to use Hulu and it says that I haven't paid.
Oh, yeah. I thought, well, I knew it wasn't stolen, but I couldn't find mine the other day. And until I did, I just picked up my cell phone and flipped the switch in the bank app that says lock card. And it stayed. A couple hours later, I found it, so I just switched it back on. And they don't take any action. They just stop anybody from using it while you got it locked.
You figure out why they put screws on that, Tom?
No, not yet. I've had it. I can't take it no more.
Stuff will make you go blind.
Actually, I tell you what, this is the best one I've done yet, or the fastest one I've done yet.
I like
Don't let
to know how in the hell these guys with these aluminum split spinners put them little teeny slits in there. Then you put that spinner on there and it just kind of turns in place.
Yeah, I got ones like that. They're the Dave Brown spinners that go by the Top Flight. No, I don't remember what name they go by, but I buy them from Omni Models off of eBay, and that's the way they are. I looked at it, and I knew it wasn't going to work, but it just turned.
Damn, look at that.
Getting there.
Let me lock on to Tom. There we go. Now
Tom,
make sure that,
one hell of a
make sure
craft.
that listen to me.
Let's see the other side there.
Make sure that no part of that spinner is touching any part of the prop.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see a little gap in there. That looks good.
Get like I need probably a 30-second.
Hold on a second again.
Shasta Cola. Wow, I hadn't had a Shasta in a long time.
All right. Can't touch the prop, huh?
Do not let the spinner touch the prop.
What happens?
Your head will explode. It can just set up bad resonance. You don't want it touching. You want a slight gap all the way around. I gotta hold it. I'm gonna lock on to Ron here. He's holding up a plane. Wow, what kind of plane? That is a cool plane. Is that?
Yeah, that is cool.
Oh, that's a baby Pathfinder or a junior Pathfinder or something like that. Pretty cool looking tricycle gear.
That's cool.
Yeah. Flip it over and let's see the engine and tank. Looks good, Ron.
That looks real good.
U.S. Navy. There we go. Is that a big ass long tongue muffler? Wow, that's a long tongue muffler. Did you make that muffler, Ron? Did you make that muffler?
I don't know if he can hear us.
No, I think he's on a. I think he's got a delay.
Yeah, he shook his head yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
I like the tricycle gear.
Yeah, I've never flown a plane with tricycle gear.
I have a plane though that all I have to do is put covering on it and finish, and it's the Charles Mackey Crusader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When are you gonna have it done?
Oh man, I probably maybe next year. You know, it's kind of a plane that I can't wait to fly, but I better get a little better than what I am before I get to that stage.
I can't wait to hear how that flew with the 4-stroke in it.
Oh, this? Yeah. Man, I never heard that before, that the spinner shouldn't touch the propeller.
I forgot where I learned that, but I believe it's good advice.
It'll wear it a little bit, but usually it don't hurt the props any. I've never had one fly apart because.
And probably not, but it just seemed like good advice.
The metal ones will really cut in.
Oh yeah, I could see the metal ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively.
For what?
I'm just so excited. I want to mount the motor. I'm going to mount it. I got this all right to where cut down to where it's okay.
Well, that's okay.
Minnesota Mike is on the way.
He's on the way, yeah.
Yeah. I don't have Gerald's phone number, so I can't text him.
There's
I wonder,
Minnesota
have you
Mike joined. There it is.
these 4-strokes, have you guys, leave the muffler? I've seen guys leave the muffler on, leave the muffler off.
You know what? It depends on how much noise you can get away with.
Well,
And there ain't that much difference.
I did buy me, wait a minute here. I did buy me a brass nipple, to go on there. If I wanted to take the muffler off, I'd have to drill a hole in this pipe right here
Oh.
to put a pressure fitting in there.
Oh, okay. I guess, I've heard they run better with mufflers. I hear it cuts a little power, but in stunt, it keeps them from running away a little bit. But yeah, I don't know how they actually. My friends all run YSs. That's why they don't have to worry about the pressure tap. They got the pump in them on the YS, and then they just run that little stub out.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah. I made herself. She put her own shows on there.
Tell her.
Tom's blowing off steam over there.
That sucks. My epoxy's not set up yet on the inside here. It's still tacky.
What are you checking the epoxy on?
Right here on the hardwood.
Oh,
Just right in this area here in the back here.
yeah.
You ever take a 5-minute epoxy and then take your heat gun and heat it up?
Yeah.
It's just like water.
Yeah.
And then you put it on real thin that way instead of getting it all thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot, that sucks.
Yeah. I have a hard time.
What happened? Something in the way of putting the motor in? I missed it.
Oh, it's tacky right here.
Oh.
Well, the only thing that it's going to be touching is the plates. That's all right.
Oh yeah, put the plates on there. Help keep the plates in place. If you ever pull the screws out.
Yep. Tacky's our friend today.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to go back to Chicago Sunday. I hope the roads are clear by then. I guess they really got hammered. We got about 4 or 5 inches here, but they were calling for 8 to 13 inches through that around the bottom of Michigan and into Chicago. But I haven't heard yet. We went down last Sunday in a snowstorm, and it took us like 4.5 hours to get there and 4.5 hours back.
From where, to Chicago? From your place?
Yeah, it's usually about 3.5 hours.
There's Terry.
That's about
Hey,
how
guys.
far away I am from Chicago.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, about 4.5 hours.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, guys.
I'm
Tell you what, the
jumping
sound
around
is
here.
good and the video is good tonight.
Yeah, it is. I'm jumping around here trying to get Minnesota Mike in. I'm not having any luck though. He says the YouTube chat's not working.
Well, he came up on my computer that said Minnesota Mike's joined the thing, and then his
Yeah,
picture never came up.
that was on the video side, and he needs to come in on the YouTube side. And I'm try to fix that right now. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, so what you been up to, Terry?
Built another plane. I'll show you in a minute.
So you get ready for some more colder weather coming that way, I guess?
A little bit. So do you have snow, Steve, or you got flurries now?
Yeah, it's pretty much quit here. We ended up 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah.
But down south, I guess around New Buffalo and down into Indiana there, Gary and all that, they really got hammered, but
yeah, that's what I heard.
I hope it's all cleared up by Sunday.
Yeah, you're traveling that way?
Yeah, we've been going to Chris Rudd's house every Sunday and
oh yeah, that's right.
working on that airplane.
It's supposed to be warm and rainy here.
How's the airplane coming, man?
The wings are done. Just
Sweet.
got to put wing tips on it and get the lead outs pushed through and stuff. The fuselage is ready to take the bell crank, because that's what's crazy with these take aparts. That the bell crank is actually in the airplane, and you take the wires off.
Yep.
So that's got to be done. The fuse is done except for top blocks, bottom blocks. We got the motor mount in and all that kind of stuff. The nose ring will have to go on and stuff, but I think we're going to work on top and bottom blocks when we get back. They get wingtips on, and it should be getting real close to starting to finish it. But
That's a process, isn't it?
oh my God. You can't believe though, Bob Hunt made them lost foam wing jigs.
Yeah.
And all the lines around the fuselage and stuff like that. And you shim get the fuselage straight and measure it and everything like that. When it all glued up, that thing was perfect. The lines,
Wow.
everything matched up, and it's like, it's just hard to believe that he can cut that damn foam that straight, flat on the bottom, and everything he does to
Man,
hold
he's been doing it. He's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he all the lines around the fuselage and stuff like. But yeah, it's a process, but it's cool when it's being done. If it wasn't for Chris, we never could have did one. I mean, it was way too much for me and Samantha to try to figure out.
Now since you've been through one, it's probably pretty simple, isn't it?
Not really. I really wouldn't know how long it would take us to build that kind of wing because of all the clearances and stuff and a little bit of carving and stuff you got to do on the ribs to take that. So the take apart part goes in there, make it fit perfect. Chris is faster than hell. He takes his X-Acto knife, zip, 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 like, a little bit more, bang, bang, bang. He's like, okay, that one. And it's like, shit. It's hard to believe.
He was on Hangouts last year, and he was sitting here talking a mile a minute, and his hands were moving just as fast. When we was just starting out with the Hangouts deals,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's
he can cut fast.
But once to do the ribs and stuff like that, that was actually once you got going at it fairly easy. You just mark them out and you cut them a little bit oversized, and then pin them back on with pieces of foam, and then sand them into shape.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a mark on there where the spar goes. And you take a piece of square tubing and just cut that spar out on each one, and it worked pretty slick. It really does. And then you mold that block, and then you tack it all in place. How he does it, he tacks it all in place with wood glue, goes around all the ribs, slides it on there, and then tapes it and holds it in place, and then lets it dry. And then once it's dry, then he goes back through with CA and then hit some stuff. Yeah, I see Minnesota on there.
Yeah, okay. I just tried something else to get the chat working. Oh, there he is. Okay. Yeah, I see him too.
I don't see him. I just see some kind of little.
He said the chat box wasn't working, so I went back and reloaded it. And about that time, you said Minnesota Mike's here. So
Yeah, I don't see him or him talking or anything like that yet.
Oh well, I've done all I can do. We'll either get him or we won't this time. It's just going to take a while for everybody to figure out they need to go through Stunthangar to get here.
I think this is the first night I've been on there and someone hadn't broke in and done stuff.
We've been having a pretty good run.
Yeah,
for the past
real
couple of
good
weeks.
run. Yeah, real good.
But now we're unlisted, but none of my protective controls are working tonight. I noticed when I was doing some tests last night that they weren't. So I hope nobody does come invade us, because I'll be helpless to kill them. But they didn't get announcements that we're online, so that's a good thing, because they're just subscribing to Sparky's channel, to Stunthangar channel. So they, if I don't send notifications, they don't know we're on. All of you guys just have to know where to go at the right time. And I put in the open forum, I posted a big explanation yesterday and added on to it today. So hopefully the word will get around.
Very clear, very good. Yep.
I hope so. Yeah, I type a lot of stuff like that, and there's always some mistake I have to go back and fix.
Yeah, it was real good.
No, yeah, it was fine. Like I said, I had to go there, and then it brought me in to the first one, and then back to Hangouts, and it let me in. But I had to reapply since it kicked me off last Friday.
I think you had been suspended by the trolls, Steve. I think that was what your problem was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you were kicking them off, right and left, and all of a sudden, bang! I got kicked off.
Well, they're kicking us off as well. It was a two-way battle. They kicked us off, we kicked them off, and I was the last man standing. So that ain't anything useful, though.
Yeah, I figured it'd start working out again.
Let me turn on Minnesota Mike's microphone and see if I can. I can't do anything with it. I don't know what's wrong with him. His mic won't turn on from here, but I don't have the big control box tonight. Got a picture of his car.
Yeah, that's all I had to do.
Let's see what he said in his text. No chat. No. Oh well. We'll get it working later.
No, I don't feel so bad. He has more problems than I usually have.
Yeah. Well, we got old Ron out there with no mic. He's our quietest member. He can still communicate, though. He showed us his plane. It looked like a military version of a Pathfinder with the tricycle gear and the forward canopy on it, but I don't know what it was called. He's got a thumbs up, and maybe I'm closer than I think.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go get. I went and got this little logistics camera thing, $12. It works really good. You guys hear me anyway?
Yeah, it's clear, man. Very good.
Hey Tom, if you bolt that thing on your engine, that airplane will vibrate like hell.
What's that? This?
Yeah, when you fly that now, it's gonna vibrate like hell. It won't be balanced worth a shit.
No, isn't it? I've seen them before. Them half propellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a favorite speed trick. They use a half a blade and weight on the other. But
it's just right. This is just falling together, just so smooth. Perfectly 0-degree incident on the thrust line. Now, the spinner should line up, right?
Yeah, it should.
Right. Let's see how I did.
I'm putting a little offset on my thrust line.
What happened to your thrust line?
I'm putting a little outward offset on it. I don't know if I'll put any down on it or not. Oh, I see Mike Lonke's on the chat, so it's working for him.
Oh man.
Guillotine or demon behind Terry. What's that, Terry? You got? I was about to mention your new blue sunburst back there.
That's my old plane, but I just pulled the motor off to work on it. Here's the one I just built. I had to cut this one by I cut all the ribs with a X-Acto blade. It's a mini Basta. It's got a brand new McCoy 19 redhead.
That's a hell of a wing.
Yeah, it's elliptical. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, see that.
Pretty cool. And then, of course, I got my checkerboard going again on this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a canted checkerboard. I like that. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Basta. That's what you said, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah, Basta. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is that a pressure tank then?
No, it just runs on, it's one of those two, like in the big planes, I use the number, I think it's an 11 tank by Perfect. It's got the two vents. The back one's plugged and the front one has an angled piece of tube. So it just gets the air off the prop and it feeds just from suction. I run all my combat ships that way, and I never use a bladder. I'm sure I could get higher performance, but I get all the performance I need.
Oh, okay.
What's that twin boom one behind you?
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's the one that I did from scratch. It's the one for the LA-46. I just basically had to give it a bath, and I'm ready to put the heat gun to it. But it's kind of a slightly enlarged Voodoo with Combat Cat wingtips.
What, a Voodoo's got flat wingtips?
Well, no, it's got like the rounded ones. Yeah, it's they're okay. It's just that I like the Combat Cat wingtip better.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a better flying wingtip than the round one. I don't know.
Yeah, I
with
think
a
it
plane
is.
like
Yeah, I really think it does fly better. But you ought to see this little Basta go. I built that other one for the Enya 15. I showed you that last week.
Yeah.
So I flew it, and my son came by the park, and we're flying them on 60 footers because it's small. So he grabbed that from me and he says, I'll take this one. You go build another one. We'll practice with these small planes. So I was going to build a carbon copy and just cover it different. And then one of the pieces of wood, we had already traced out this Basta. And you can cut it out with a Dremel saw, but unless you're making several at a time and cutting a stack of ribs, it's just as easy to work with your hobby knife. And I really like the I've got this I'll go and get it when I have to go in and use the bathroom, but it's a little I guess it's a scalpel. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago from one of the guys in the club.
Hey, Mike, which one you want to see again? The Basta or the other one? Mike wants to see it again.
The Basta?
I think so.
Yeah. Let's get a good view of this here.
Hey, Mark, how you doing tonight?
How you doing?
Good.
It's got a real cool elliptical wing.
Let me lock in on you there while the tubers can see you. Yeah, I love that wing. I kind of like
it's real, and it's really not that difficult to build. It kind of the ribs have like a fork in the end. And then your leading edge is a curved piece of 16th inch balsa that you have to scarf joint a couple places. And then you fill in between with triangle stock to get your leading edge. And then it goes to the trailing edge, which again is a piece of 16th inch balsa that's scarf jointed together. But it's and it's just phenomenal in the wind. It's got like almost like a Spitfire wing.
Yeah, I know. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, Mike says, he says last week's one. You talking about the other blue one you
Oh,
just showed a minute
yeah,
ago?
yeah. In fact, I can go get it. It's like it's in my son's bedroom. I can go get it later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the same size. It's a scaled down version of this one, which is basically, like I say, a voodoo. But see, I do a full D tube on these. The voodoo's all open. This is D tubed and cap stripped.
Wait.
I'm gonna have to do one of
Hello.
those sunburst patterns.
Else. She
Yeah,
just kind of
it's
peeking in and seeing what her dad's
Hey,
doing in
Samantha,
here.
how you doing?
Watching my 600-pound life currently. Get back to my show.
Yeah, back to your show. All right. 600-pound life. I can't imagine. I'm getting there though.
Oh, that's
Slowly.
disgusting. I can't understand why people can sit and watch those shows.
I don't know, man.
Still in the room.
She says she's still in the room, Rusty. She heard that.
I don't think she lands in that category. Being too disgusting to even watch.
What I want to know is that if they can't walk and they can't get up by themselves and shit, how do they keep from losing weight because they can't make it to the refrigerator?
People bring
Somebody's
them shit.
feeding them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People bring
somebody's
them shit.
feeding them.
You
It's incredible.
fill a radio flyer, wagging up at the refrigerator, and haul it in the bedroom.
I guess I don't know, but if they can't get up out of the damn bed or anything like that, they're damn sure lose weight.
Remote control cars.
Mike says something. I'm watching you, dumbasses. I take it you mean I resemble that remark. So, by the way, Tom and Mike, sorry about last night. I had no idea I was sending shit out to people on my telephone. I was trying to set up a group so that I could tell y'all stuff like that we're changing how to get in here. So people like Minnesota Mike and all, I wouldn't have to screw with it online. They'd know that they had to log into Stunthangar and get the link because we're not sending notifications out. All of a sudden, I realized that I got half of my goddamn phone sending messages back to me. And some of them are dancing GIFs and some of them are, get this shit off of my phone. That would be Mike's category. And so I damn uninstalled that messenger app, that Facebook thing. That's just pisses me off. Every time I touch my phone, I send something to somebody unintentionally.
Well, that was like I got a thing through Google Hangouts or whatever, and it was some kind of call with a bunch of different people in it.
From
Yeah,
me,
I got that too.
And I hit it, and Mike Lonke picked up, and he said that was from like a month ago, and it just came through. Like,
that was part of another thread that I had answered a message that he had sent me a month ago, and I didn't know. But this was a current that just looked like it was part of last night's. But I uninstalled it. I don't want to even touch that messenger thing again. The only reason I got it on there is because that's the way my mother likes to communicate. But she's gonna have to learn how to do it some other way. That's okay, Mike. I know I was cranky last night too. So
Yeah, you was.
yeah, it pissed me off when I realized I'd been sending shit to all of these people because I was just clicking to add people to the group so that I could later compose a message that I wanted to compose and send it. It was just information. But all of a sudden we had dancing GIFs and bullshit. And Jared Hayes was another one. He was on there too. So I deleted the conversation. I couldn't figure out how to delete the group. So that's when I uninstalled it.
Oh, that back plate looks like that thing fits on there perfect, Tom.
Yeah. I wish I
Mike,
could
how
get the
come
front
you're
part
not
of-
on video with us tonight?
Pardon?
I said, Mike, how come you're not on video with us tonight?
I'll get it. It's just going to take a little bit of persuasion.
That looks nice.
Finally, I don't know how I did this.
Hey, there he is. He just showed up.
Oh, right. Hey, man,
All
you're
right.
bright and loud and clear.
But
Good
he
for
don't
you.
know how he did it. That's a bad thing.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
You'll have to stay logged in indefinitely then. That's
This
all.
phone's always is waiting for Rusty.
Good to see you.
I tried everything I knew. I'm glad you finally clicked the right button or whatever. Well, we got a pretty good crowd tonight. So
Yeah, good deal.
now, Mike, you need to get into Stunthangar. And if you have any trouble re-registering, let me know and I'll tell Sparky that you're trying to get in. Send me the name you're registering with and the email address you're registering with, and I'll make sure Sparky gets you back.
I'll do that because I can't remember what I said.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah. And Sparky gets hundreds of applications every day, and doesn't have time to mess with them all. And if you got a Gmail email address, he pretty much kicks you to the can. But if I tell him that you're one of the good guys, he'll let you in. Oh, Mike says he's not on video tonight because he's not all dolled up. I didn't think he was dolled up.
Who cares?
I'm not either. I forgot to put my lipstick on.
Heck
I
yeah,
did
man.
have I did have Holly tie my hair up because I look like Albert Einstein. Pretty staticky today.
What's your guys' temperature? We were 78 degrees today.
It's going to be 70 here for the next 3 days, but it's going to be pouring rain, I think.
That's not good for them.
You got to get good form and just do one or two.
82 and sunny, but heavy chemtrailing.
Spring is, yeah. Spring's coming.
It is.
Well, we have no chemtrails here, but because they'd fall out of the sky as ice.
They might be up there. You don't know. So I'm originally from Kenosha, Wisconsin, and they got dumped on, man.
Yeah.
Chicago took a pretty good whack too, especially the north side.
I saw Detroit covered with snow on the news tonight.
Yeah, it's directly across the lake.
And look, it made the whole town look nice, though. Nice. And
Oh
clean.
yeah, it makes it white and clean.
64 in Nashville. Mike says he spent the day at the gun range.
Good one.
Don't growl.
He's probably got a big black eye from a scope. That's why he won't come on in front of us.
Oh yeah.
Got scope.
Yeah, when the eyes get old, you got to get that relief real close, and then it can come back and bite you.
Yeah.
That's the world's good.
He's got to go up to Washington for that ladder grabber, man.
Man, we got a lot of background noise coming from somewhere.
For like 2 Sunday, but if I'm going later at night, that's probably when I'm gonna be.
Mike, you ever been to the ladder grabber?
Okay.
Yeah, I go up there every year.
Oh, that's right. We got 2 mics on here. Okay, good. That's right. I remember you had talked about the ladder grabber. Minnesota Mike.
Even when I lived back in North Dakota, I used to go out there just about every other year then.
Yeah, that's way out of my reach, but I'd love to see it. It's got to be a spectacle.
It's fun.
What time? I'm gonna read my book for school.
I'm on mute Steve's microphone.
That's what I'm like.
There we go.
I'll put away my clothes now.
Okay.
That didn't work.
Tom's getting his jammies dirty again.
Ah.
What's that? What's that?
I said you're getting your jammies dirty again.
Oh, I know it. Here, you can stare at me beside my fat belly. Boy, I tell you what, man, I've almost got this, but it's just a hair. This is going to be I'm going to have to figure something out. This will be a bastard to change out in the field to get it just right. This Durbo just don't work very well with these APC props. Period.
Steve, I have accidentally muted your microphone and I can't seem to turn it back on.
There we go. How about that?
Okay, that's good.
There it is.
I was just talking away to Tom and he wanted to answer me back. Doesn't it have a pin on there that you line the back of that prop up to?
You need a hammer, Tom?
Yeah, it should be that little pin you put the trailing edge of the prop up against. Whoops.
Yeah, it's these APC props are
Oh yeah.
real
Thicker.
real wide right there, you see?
Yeah, they're thick
Yeah.
at that section.
And everything else it fits fine with these Durbo props, but or spinners, but there's a hair too big. Now see this one? This is the one I used to trim with. You see?
Yeah.
And guess what?
I have,
It's just a little bit different.
I've had to get a thinner washer for the front of that prop, if I recall correctly. Not much else you can do.
Yeah, the 4-stroke has a lot longer shaft on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once you figure that out, Tom, then take an X-Acto and scratch that so you can eyeball line it up.
Exactly. Exactly right. I got you there. That's exactly what I plan to do if I can get it on there.
Yeah, once you get it set, then you can scratch that in.
Just, you know, like when you tighten everything down right here, it could just move just a twitch and it's done for.
Now, push comes to shove, just epoxy that on there.
Hey, I saw a post today that back in the day they used to take a block of balsa wood and bolt it on the front of the motor and start the motor, and that's what they had to contour. They sanded that down when the motor was running.
Wouldn't surprise me none.
Huh?
Just like a lathe.
No prop or anything. I mean, how would that? I don't know how that'd work out. I wouldn't want to try it.
That doesn't sound like something I'd be doing.
No.
Man, this thing is so
So
close.
close, but yet so far.
Yeah.
Mark, what you working on tonight?
I'm doing a little work on the Acromaster. Just gonna do some stabilizer work.
That's for 15. What kind of, have you got a Cox 15 for it?
I have a Medallion 15 I'm going to put on now to test fly, and then I'm going to set it aside for the traveling engine that's going around.
Oh yeah.
Ah, that's right. I remember you saying that over on Cox Forum.
Then after the traveling engine goes through, I'll just keep on hand as a trainer for anyone who wants to fly.
Yeah, it's a good all-purpose airplane.
Probably about 840, but I don't know how big those are.
I'll set my alarm for a little bit before 8.
All right, thank you.
I don't know when I'm gonna get it back.
Okay. Let me keep it. Night. Oh, man, it got late fast.
Yeah. That's all right. It's Friday night, unless you got to go to work tomorrow.
Bingo.
Watch it tighten it up and everything.
Oh, we locked up there for a minute.
Hey, Minnesota Mike, you been out to the drag strip lately? Fuck, I killed him. He got so excited he disappeared.
Oh, come on.
Now he's just going to figure out what he did last time to get it back in.
Yeah, man, I was so careful not to. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
What? You couldn't get the cone and the back plate to groove together?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't care
I
those
found
Dubro
out what the
spinners too
problem was.
much.
You need to fire that up.
I still have pins. I still have pins that are going in, so it should stay fairly straight.
Yeah.
Oh man. I tell you what, this is fucking beautiful. Wow. I am surprised.
You're just proud of yourself, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah, man. Man, I feel like 18, Colonel Hannibal. Like, I love it when a plan comes together. That don't look too bad.
Yeah, let's have a peek.
Oh, it looks real good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's a side view of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you see the gap?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's about right?
Yep.
it's it's as straight as it needs to be. It looks good.
Hey, you got the tank on and everything. The motor. Fire that thing up. We want to hear it run.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's
Yeah.
hear it. Put a little.
Yeah, I
burp of
even
fuel
have
in
it. I even got my fuel filter right here, ready to go too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the Dubro steel control horns on there. Those are my favorites.
Those are nice.
What, these?
I wish, yeah, except
Hey,
you're down
I
too
don't
low
know.
to see.
Can you see my little guy with a cigar I put on him?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm gonna replace this. I use cotton.
Is that
I'm gonna replace that. Yeah, to redone my canopy.
it's all underneath our view area.
Yeah, you gotta go down lower, Tom.
Huh?
You gotta go
Down.
down. There you go.
There you go.
Pan down a little.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I was spacing out there
Yeah,
for a
looking
minute.
good, man.
That is not like the Dubro control horn. I thought it was. It's still a steel horn, isn't it?
Yeah.
What, this one?
Yeah, that's homemade, isn't it?
Yeah, that's from my my 350 Chevrolet starter shim right there. And the back one is the same way.
Boy, you got the throws reversed.
big
from
throw.
what most people do on
Yeah.
the elevator to flat ratio.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm the same distance. Wait a minute. Let me see here. I've measured the same distance from hole to hole there to the one in the back too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
As long as it flies like you like it. But yeah, my twister plans actually had the bell crank wire going to the lower hole in the flap horn, but
Mm-hmm.
it was way too twitchy like that. Too much throw on the flap compared to the elevator. So I reversed them, and that's how most people put them together, is with the bell crank going to the top hole in the flap horn.
That's correct.
I'll tell you what. Try and put both of them one time on the top. Wherever you hook your flap up to for that travel, hook the push rod on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And usually
That's what I was
about-
actually trying to
like
do, but something was in the way.
about an inch. And then go back to the elevator and make it a 1/4 inch smaller and try to see how that plane flies.
That's the way I got my bastard set up, Steve.
Oh, Dennis had a mission told us that on the Vector, and we did it. And you can't believe how much better that thing will turn corners, and how much better it does wing
The
overs.
last time I was on, I was on the working on the bastard. That's the other P40 I have.
Yeah,
Okay, see this?
yeah.
Watch. Now I'm putting pressure on this thing. Now it just finally went. Guess what? That night when I was all done with the bastard, I went to put my push rod back on. because I put that weight box in the tail, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I put my push rod on, I went to my lead outs. I couldn't move my bell crank in or out.
Right.
It was
That
so hard. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I finally I thought, what the hell? And it wasn't my bell crank. It was this stupid. It was this.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I talked to Dubro. He's got 100 of the old ones, the brass ones that turn really free that RC guys don't like. And he wants $2 a piece for them. And I was going to order 50 just to have them.
Yeah.
Because I bought like 4 bags of Dubro like ball links to get 3 good ones. I just bought 10 from Tom Morris, and I got 3 good ones out of that batch.
Yeah, that's
That
terrible.
enough.
I haven't had that problem as much. I've gotten 2 or 3 stiff ones over the time, but most of them have been okay. But I've been getting the chrome ones, and most of them have seemed okay. But I don't know what the problem with them is. What makes them get stiff?
No, it's the plastic. I think the plastic
Heats up and grows, or the ball grows inside of the plastic.
Because if it gets below 70 degrees, it starts locking up. Now, if it gets up to 80 degrees, like if I'm on the tarmac and the shit gets 85, 90 out,
then they're free.
Good.
Well, I've been last couple of planes. I've been on the P40. I put Sullivan ball links on it, and they're pretty free.
I didn't think about trying Sullivan's, but yeah, I was going to buy some of them brass ones.
I cut into the sheeting, but what I did was I went out and got my my borescope I have for engines, and I put up in there, you know, where the push rod comes out because it's a profile, and I took a needle and went right through the balsa wood, and I could see in my camera, and boom, two tries, and I hit right in the center of the bolt. So I just drilled me a little hole on the top for this this tool here to go in.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, I had to go a 1/2 inch because I had to get that thing out of there with forceps. You know, unbelievable.
Yeah, we had that on one of Samantha's airplanes, and I ended up having to. Luckily, I got the canopy. I got a Sharpie, and got the canopy off, cut it off, and then under the canopy, I could cut down, and then end up taking that damn froze up ball link out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm about ready to go away from ball links. Go back.
I'm not using any more ball links on my control horns in the wing. I'm not doing it.
If you can get them bent right, L bends or Z bends.
I've got a real nice Z bender, and if you treat the wire
What do you
right
think?
and heat it, and
Yeah.
take the
That's
stiffness
glare
out.
or something on there. Let's try it.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a
Does
bullet
it look
hole.
like a bullet hole?
Yeah.
20 millimeter.
Yeah, I free-handed that thing. And guess what? I went out in the garage and got me a piece of vinyl siding and made me a little scoop.
Okay.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. And then the bottom, it's bigger because I had to, I decided to make the bottom bigger so I could get this ball link out of here. It's
The exit
quite
hole is
bigger.
always bigger. The exit hole is always bigger than the entrance hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, there's the there's a little hatch door and
Yeah.
with a weight box.
I'll tell you what, Tom, when the way you have that system set up, you may want to try that exact same thing on that airplane, because I can't believe how much better that Vector flies that way.
I mean, see?
Yeah, I seen it when you picked up. Yep, exactly.
Man, I kind of what I was doing was when I was flying at my maiden flights, trimming it, I was like, man, it just felt funny, and I like I didn't have enough. I don't know how to describe it. Tell you the truth, it was in the flap. I thought I was getting too much flap.
Well, yeah, what it is that when you're giving it, putting handle input in it, it goes 1-to-1 with flap to elevator. And what I was noticing on Samantha's wing over, it was actually sucking the plane when it came up. It would suck the plane back.
Mm-hmm.
To where now it'll turn that corner and go straight up.
Mm-hmm.
But she could get it straight, but it was always starting here. And by the time the nose was straight up, it had sucked back 6 to 12 inches and then go straight up.
I got you. Yep.
And by giving it more tail like that and being able to adjust that, she can get a nice straight up and right up over the top.
I'm hoping, man. I hope that's how it goes.
Yeah, so you can try it on, but that's the thing for you guys to try. If you get an airplane that you think that's not doing a good wing over, or you're having a hard time hitting that wing over, try to put all them at the.
I love this wing. I love the wing, but I hate the fuselage.
Yeah.
I'd like to make me a new fuselage, because this fuselage, the tail, it twists. I thought I did.
That's why
what I did on the inside of the two laminate pieces, I thought would take care of the twist, but it didn't.
Well,
that's why I put that piece of carbon flat bar in my Cardinals
Well,
tail
I
end.
don't have it. I don't have it, so I'm gonna have to use wood or fiberglass or cloth or something.
Spruce.
I'll tell you,
Strip of spruce.
I'll try to find out, Tom, where a buddy of mine, he got some carbon fiber out of kites, and it's just a small little carbon fiber rod. He takes a routers a hole down in the top and bottom of the fuselage of the profile, glues that carbon rod in there, and then redoes the top and rounds it off, puts a little piece of balsa back up in there. You can't believe how much that stiffens that tail up.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing I did. It's just I put
Back
that
in the
flat
day when
bar
I was a kid, I used my mom's pantyhose.
You use your mom's pantyhose?
Yeah, I covered a whole profile fuselage with my mom's pantyhose.
Oh shit!
Well, that's pretty
I got in
flashy
trouble
stuff.
too.
All right. Good night,
Hey,
Ron.
good night, buddy.
Thanks for dropping in on us.
Yeah.
That really made us
get our attention.
Yeah, you mentioned pantyhose and he took off.
He needs to make a big stack of flashcards for us.
But yeah, you can put that carbon fiber rod in there. And I forget what he said. It costs like $1 for it, wherever he gets it from. And he puts
you can find it online on Kite Supplies. Like we use that in our sailplanes all the time.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he was trying to do like the built-up profile and stuff like that, and that made it a little bit stiffer. And then he just sticks that rod in there.
Here's another. I don't know. Can you see that shield there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I made out of. I had an old scrap piece of vinyl siding.
Oh, that's the round piece that locks in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I kind of formed that one around a 3/8 dowel rod and took my propane torch and kind of waved it like this.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of just took my hands and formed it right around there, man. That's what I did with that one too. I made that one a triangle. I don't know. I don't know which one I like.
They both look good.
Man, I'm just about ready for the year. All I got left to do is get. I gotta put bushings in my wheels on that one.
I was going to say too, how'd that balance out with the muffler? You know, you're talking about leaving the
That's-
muffler on or
that's
taking
it.
it off.
I don't know yet. I'm
That
gonna,
would be
I'm
what
gonna
to
wait
tell
until I
you.
get everything on there that needs to be on, and I'm gonna put it on the Vanessa and see where we're at.
Yeah, that way you can tell if you need to take the muffler off or leave it on.
Right.
No free rides.
Really. Well, guys, it's almost 11:30, and I got to get up early because I got to take Samantha's car in, and so I'm gonna let you guys go, and hopefully I'll see you Monday.
Okay.
Watch
thanks
that
for,
traveling, man.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
Watch
hanging
the
out.
roads.
Yep, take her easy.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Steve.
Yeah, we're rolling up on the last half hour pretty soon here.
Hey, Terry,
Yes, sir.
I used your idea about wetting a rag, putting it in the microwave, and wrapping it around the
Yeah,
can.
how'd it work? Nice, eh?
It worked great.
Yeah, I'm glad. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
What's that?
Can you believe how the paint droplets go so fine?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It,
Yep.
it worked good. I put the 2K clear on the twister today, and that's what I did.
Mhm.
I did it before I punched the back of it and let the catalyst into the paint. And then after I did that, I shook it quite a while and then wrapped a hot towel around it. And it worked really,
Yep.
really good.
Well, that clear is really one of the better. I think it's the only clear to use. I use it on all my gas RC boats. In fact, I'll show them to you guys on Monday. I'll have 3 ready for the clear coat because, you know, I don't have much luck holding that can even in the refrigerator more than 24 hours. So I line up my 3 boats, I get them all tack ragged and everything, wet sanded, and then I go with that clear coat stuff. I just hit them all at once. But that clear coat stuff is awesome. It's not cheap, but it is awesome.
It's expensive, but my gosh, that's some good looking stuff.
Yep. Well, you know what we're doing here, these are works of kinetic art. That's art that has motion. And all of us are artists in our own right. I mean, Tom does beautiful work. I mean, all these little innovations.
Well,
this is what's so nice about this is what's nice about this group, because man, everybody gets, you know, to glean. And I enjoyed seeing Al's collection of stuff last week. Wow.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
glad he came in. That was a good
I
visit.
got a question.
All right.
There's one more boo-boo I found on this plane. It's this tail wheel. The music wire that I used isn't music wire. It's just regular cold rolled steel.
No,
It's
it bends.
Too
Yeah.
soft,
And
huh?
that thing bends on me. That sucks, man. I don't know how I know better. I don't even know how I even used that like that.
Why don't you solder an angular brace onto it in front of it to help hold it from bending backwards? You could do that and make it look pretty good.
You know,
too.
a lot of times if you do need tail weight, you can take another piece of stiffer wire and lay it next to it or in front of it, and then wrap it with your here, I use this
Oh,
yeah, no, listen.
okay.
See,
Well,
so I picked this
it
out of the
bends right
trash.
at this night at this well,
You
it's
see
like a
that wire?
45-degree. It
Yeah.
bends it up here, up towards the top.
Gotcha. Well, just wrap it in real thin
Right there at this
copper
radius.
wire and solder it, and you'll be fat city. Then you can take out some
I'm gonna
tail
do
weight.
that. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Then take out a little tail weight.
Yeah. You can also buy that wire in the jewelry or the craft department at Walmart too.
Yes, you can. Yep. Very cheap.
This here is tail heavy. because of the bi-directional flaps. Everything's behind the CG, all that hardware.
Oh yeah.
So it was tail heavy. So that's why I did all this work on the nose.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Hey,
so
Rusty.
happy because this is what I took out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's just a mad amount of weight.
That's the Ingot Air Force.
Yes.
Hey, when I first built it, it was this, Jerry.
No, I get it, man. I
Golly.
get it.
That's 12.8 ounces right
Oh
there.
my God. Listen, my Basta doesn't weigh that total. No, it does. It weighs about 11 ounces without the motor. I haven't weighed it with the motor, but that little 19 redhead, that little McCoy redhead, man, what a sound that has. Love it. Hey, Rusty.
Yeah.
Next Monday, if anybody's interested, I could do a show and tell. I dug out my one each of my vintage kits. I've got a vintage Voodoo, I got a vintage Voodoo double kit, and I've got a Combat Cat double kit, and I've got the Dumas Spectrum.
Okay.
All combat chips.
Let's put that on the list then.
Yeah, and then I'll set my camera. I got my new mount going up, so I'll be able to shoot the bench. And I picked up a little wireless headset, so we'll be able to do a pretty good show and tell on it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, I like it when y'all can come up with some good show and tell material.
Yep. And I don't know if Wiley Wooten is still alive. I read his biography maybe 6 or 8 months ago when the AMA was asking for people's stories. And he had his on there. Of course, he also is the proprietor of Lone Star Balsa. And I used to get all my stuff from them. And then they had a fire. But I believe they've come back from that, I hope, anyway.
He's a member of Stunthangar. I actually had a conversation with him one day.
Yeah.
And that was surprising because he didn't post much. But yeah, I felt honored to have his attention for a little bit.
Nice gentleman. I met him out in Texas when I went to pick up wood a couple times out there. And
I saw him in September at the team trials there in Dallas.
oh, neat.
Is he still in
There.
good health? Is he still in good health and getting around okay?
Looked like he was. I talked to him for a minute, and seemed like he was doing good.
You're breaking up, Jim. We're losing you.
So, Jim, how close are you to Houston?
Probably 6 hours.
Oh, 6 hours. Ooh, that's a long way.
Wow. Texas is a big state.
Yeah, no, I know it. I know it is.
I'm
right.
about 3 hours west of
All right,
Dallas.
So you're not too far from Mineral Wells then, right?
About 2.5 hours from Mineral
Okay.
Wells.
Okay. Yeah, I did a lot of flying around there for the Army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, I'm going to be spending some time out in the Houston area, probably for the next 3-4 months. And I've taken a position with my friend who he's a corporate pilot, and he's the chief pilot, and they put their planes onto NextJet when they're not being used. So I got to fly out to the SHOT Show in Vegas here last weekend, or a week ago, I guess. And so I'm back working with them a little bit part-time. So I've got some flights out to Houston. If you could get out there, I'm not going into I'm going into the other airport, not the Bush International, but the corporate one just down the road from
Hobby.
I've got it on my sectionals,
Hobby?
but, until I get in the. Yes. Yeah.
What kind of planes do you have time in, Terry?
Pretty much everything, but I'm getting to fly a really sweet Lear 35, and it just came out of refurbishment, and it's got these brand new Rolls-Royce engines on it, and it could be one of the fastest Lear 35s out there right now.
Now it's got, is it got wing mounted engines, or is that
No,
fuselage?
they're fuselage pod mount like the 727.
Right.
Only
Yeah, that's what I always
no
think
center
of.
wing. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I like that configuration. I mean, there's a lot of old aircraft designers that say the wings are for flying. They're not for holding motors, which is baloney. You can put motors wherever you want.
It seems like that a wing mounted engine plane would have a little more stability. Am I just guessing?
No, I
guess
think so. Yeah, I think so. The thing is, though, if you're going to lose an engine, I would rather have the engines back into the tail
near the center of the thrust line. Yeah.
About 6 foot apart, and that works for me.
Yeah.
Because you really don't, you feel a little yaw when you pull an engine, but there isn't the big yaw you get like on a like an L1011 or something.
You got a fight on your hands when one engine's out on that.
Yeah. Well, you got to throttle back on the good engine because you can't. Yeah. It'll still stay flying, but you got to start dumping fuel right away if you're too heavy.
Yeah. What, can you shift fuel from one wing to the other?
Yeah, you can. You can. But it all depends, for an accident to take place. And I do work with the NTSB, but I only work with home built crashes, composites mostly, and some ultralight stuff. But for an accident to happen, it's like Pandora's box. You have to have certain things happen in a progression, and the way the aircraft is designed, that's pretty rare for things to really go bad. But believe me, if things start going bad, they could go bad in a hurry.
Right. So in other words, adding something to a potential problem list is turning the pumps on and moving fuel around, I guess.
Yeah, as long as you've got not a bunch of water underneath you, it's just a good idea to get to your local airport, and you really want to dump as much fuel as you can because that's just a hazard to land with it. But I've never had to do that in civilian. I've had to do that in the military a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But we had VC shooting holes in our wings, so that was a little different issue.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough. I was fixed wing when I got drafted out of graduate school. I was fixed wing qualified. I had my commercial instrument, my multi-engine, and my CFI. I was working on my CFII. So the Army gave me rotary wing training, but they had to keep me current and fixed wing. That was my primary MOS. So I got to fly the O2 Bird Dog, which is a Cessna Skymaster. What a beautiful little plane. And we basically did a FAC, or forward air control, or observing. And you had rockets and, but they were used for marking purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But still, if you caught those little bastards out in their sampans, those white phosphorus rockets did a number on them, man. Maybe that's bad to say that. I'm sorry. But it was the waters we swam in at that time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yep. But Stunthangar's been real good the last few weeks, man. It's been very informative. And
yeah, we've been doing some good ones. I've been happy with it.
A lot of my friends didn't see it last week because, we had to kind of go underground a little bit. But when the video got posted, then they watched it. And
I think 99% of our audience is watching reruns.
Yeah.
And so that's what I didn't like about having to move to the other site. We can't record it. I didn't have enough computer power to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to record it and then upload it, and
all at the same time. It's really cooking the processor, and I've got a good quad core processor, but it's just it's still not enough
Yeah.
computer, and I probably don't have enough memory. I got 8 gigs on board, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Well,
much
it's
of
working
all.
out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could find out, but I've got a friend that's doing it off his little laptop, but his laptop is fairly new. Of course, the new
Yeah,
little laptops
pretty
have
powerful
power.
laptops.
Yeah, yeah, they come pretty powerful. Yeah, my son's a realtor and he works with Apple products, and he just got, now that they've got the new tax code in place, he can get new computers and stuff every year, which, believe me, you really need, because every 7-8 months everything changes.
Yeah. And
And
sitting here at home with a personal computer, I'm putting about 6 years in between new computers.
oh, sure, yeah, that's a lifetime.
This one's about 2 years old.
Yep.
The HP. And really, it's a big old box with nothing inside of it.
Yeah,
Got a
that's
tiny
amazing.
little, look like about a piece of sandwich bread for the size of the motherboard, and that's all that's in there.
Well, you got room for expansion.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
I think it's a question they had the towers to get rid of, so they just, everything got smaller, so they just used the towers they had, and
Yeah.
other than your bus board and stuff, everything's pretty minuscule.
Boy, back in the 80s and 90s when I first started working on computers, man, you had to be strong to pick one up and lug it around.
Yeah.
Working on NCRs,
did.
NCRs and IBMs, and man,
a
those things.
lot of boards, and oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember.
And solid steel too. I mean, they made
Yeah.
some serious cases.
Yep.
I got a question.
Shoot.
What handles are you guys using?
I use
Oh,
the
that's
Tom Morris cable handle unbiased with the steel bar in the aluminum bar in the front, and you can slide the lines back and forth in either direction, and
Okay.
that way you can sort of offset it depending if you've got wrist motion that's restricted in one direction. You can push that line farther out without bothering the other.
Let me
one.
grab my handle. Hold on.
This is the one I got.
That's about like mine. Is that homemade?
No, that's a Brodak C8 Expert.
I want to get a
What's
hard
the thumb?
point.
Was that a thumb wheel back there that you can?
Yeah, thumb wheel on top and bottom. You can
Yep.
set the bias with it.
Yeah, it looks heavy.
It's really not that heavy.
Mine's heavy, but I'm wanting one of them Ted Fancher's hard point is what I'm trying to get, what I want to get.
I've got a homemade version of it, I think, and I hadn't tried it yet, though. I'm scared it will exacerbate my glitchy
This
movements. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about like this
You
one.
don't even have a lot.
no.
You don't even have
See,
a
I
lock
put
nut in.
this I put this big bait eyeball on the top, because when I get out to the handle, I got to feel that on my thumb, and then I know I got the handle positioned right.
Yeah. You don't fly with your thumb on top of the handle, do you?
No, absolutely not. No, but it's there, and I got my AMA number on there. But yeah, these handles work the best. And I have a couple of those old yellow plastic Pylon brand handles, and that's what I've been letting the young guys use. And they still work great, man. And you can adjust it with the back.
35 years ago, I used you remember the Hot Rocks?
Yeah.
The Hot Rock handles?
There's no adjustment on those.
That's all I used. And of course, they don't make them anymore. So
that's right. Those are the ones that shock the palm of your hand while you're flying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've had that happen before.
I never have. I've heard about it enough to believe it, though.
This seemed like a good deal. I got it from Brodak, and actually I ordered the C5, which was only has a thumb wheel on one end, and it didn't have the finger
Yeah.
in it like this one does.
Now I wrap mine
But
with tennis racket tape too.
Yeah, I've done that.
It makes it.
They were out of it.
It makes
Especially
it
if your
fatter
hands
for my
perspire.
palm.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, if you have wet palms, it works good too.
Yeah.
They were out of stock on those, the one that I ordered, so they sent me their top of the line handle.
Very nice.
That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll try it and see.
See, I take their handle and I give it an added sanding and I round off that bottom corner.
Shiny.
What? Oh yeah, it is. What'd you polish that up with?
Oh, these are great.
Wheel polish. Yeah.
Mothers.
Oh, yeah.
It's for mag and aluminum, but it works for a lot of different metals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just don't make your spouts too slippery.
Right here.
Yeah.
You're talking about the copper
Yeah,
tubing?
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Nah, that don't get
Oh,
polished.
excuse me.
If anything, I might touch it up with a little emery board or something
Yeah.
to scratch it. That seems to help.
I'll tell you, when I was running the nitro boats, I always had to put the little ring of copper wire on the end and solder a little nipple on the end, sort of a little nib. Because with the vibration on those hydros, I mean, all the fuel things try to come off.
Especially when there's water in the area, you know, it'll get slicker than owl shit.
Yep. Plus, you use those little zip ties on them too.
Yeah, if you, or I'll tell you what else is good too, is if you take paper twist ties and strip the soft wire out of the middle of them and
Perfect.
wrap them up.
I use that tag, you know, vanilla tag that you tag a piece of equipment or something, you know. I got a lot of them tags with it, you know, that I write on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
That's
know,
probably the same kind of wire.
yeah.
Or yeah.
Okay. Man, we got 10 inches of 8 to 10 inches of snow outside, man.
Holy shit.
I guess
Gotta get your
maybe
skis.
I
Put
know,
some
maybe I
skis
should
on those
build
planes.
You know what?
Get some skis.
Me and the outdoors when it's cold, we don't get along very well.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So Mark, you making any progress tonight?
No, I'm just decided to round off the tips instead of the square that you normally get on the Acromaster,
No, that looks good.
and kind of same thing for the fin.
Very
I
nice.
was going to just do this simple yellow wing, blue fuselage like an old military trainer. Didn't want to put a lot of effort into it, so I figured it needed rounded surfaces. About it.
Have you are you on the list for the TD-010 traveling engine?
Yes, I am. I've got 2 planes for that. I made a small micro nobler, and I have a small RC plane for it.
Very cool.
Now, what all's going around right now? There's the little one's still going around, but what we've got an 09 or something going around.
We have the 01, the 15, and the 049 is just starting another round again.
Okay.
ED049.
Yeah, I had that one, and I messed up. I messed it up. Well, I messed up my flight anyway because I was screwing it onto one of those radial back plates that screws into the back of the TD and then bolts to the firewall. And I didn't have the engine at the right angle, so I didn't want to deck the back of the engine since it wasn't mine. So I made a gasket, put it in there so that when it was mounted in the exactly upright like I wanted it on the little Satan. And that gasket leaked, and so I had a surging engine run, and that made me so mad because that was the only chance I had to make the video of it to post on the forums. And usually with my little Satan, I can put up a real crowd pleaser, and I just had this, and I'm like, oh man. But
Doesn't it suck when that happens?
It happens.
I mean, you're all ready, you're all psyched up, man. Then you got an engine problem.
Yeah,
You're like, where the hell? What the heck going on here?
I took that gasket out, and it evidently ran fine after that because it went to somebody else who posted a flight with it, and it ran just as sweet as ever.
It ran fine for me. I just did the one flight, but a TD you can't really go wrong with. I'm really looking forward to the Medallion 15.
Yeah, I have got a couple of medallions that hadn't gotten enough airtime because those are sweet engines.
I'm actually starting to think about starting to sell off some of my Coxes and just keep a couple of each example since I'm not really flying them anymore.
There's
Yeah,
a good market for them. I'll tell you, I put it through a couple engines out there a few weeks ago. Very, very successful.
yeah, I'm getting rid of some of mine stuff too. I got like a TD09 that I'm not going to use, and I'm getting ready to box it up and send it to Steve Hines. You know, I want somebody to have it who will like it and use it. And you know, my Norvell fuel tanks and all, I'm sending that stuff to Charles because I'll never use that stuff. I run all of my Norvells on platters like I do the rest of my FA stuff. Oh, Gerald just sent me an email. Let's see. Because I sent him one to tell him that we were online and and I sent him the links. He said, we were at a stunt event at Mercer, south of Auckland today. No great cell phone reception, but great flying, even if it did rain a bit. Thanks, Gerald. Okay.
Good.
I emailed whoever I could to let them know, and I posted that thread on Stunthangar. So we'll pick up. And we ended up getting some Mike Lunke on YouTube, and I don't know why Minnesota Mike couldn't get on, but and we got Mike and somebody else that seemed like, nah, just Mike and me. But so now I know the chat box was working. I don't know why Mike couldn't get in. And we got 2 viewers on here right now. We were 0 a few minutes ago, but if somebody's watching us. But let's see, it's 11:54. I guess it's about time to wrap it up, unless anybody's got any funny or horrifying stories to tell or show and tell or anything. I think Terry's going to do a show and tell for us on Monday.
Yep. And then later down the road, if I've got a pretty cool technique to do those sunbursts and the checkerboard, I'd gladly show you guys.
I'd like to see, 'cause I like that. I want to do one.
Yeah, no problem. I can show you how to do it. No problem. Well, we can do that next week if there's time, but we'll certainly do the kits.
Yeah. Well, tell anybody y'all know about reading that post on Stunthangar or joining Stunthangar so they can get to the At the Bench thread. And, you know, we'll pick back up and keep our crowd going. Because unless they know it's there, we won't get as many random drop-ins that just find us, you know, because we're invisible unless you've got the link now.
Yep.
But that's the way it has to be. So that's the way we'll do it. But anyway, I guess let's call it a night. And thanks to whoever you guys are, you 2 anonymous viewers on YouTube. Appreciate you watching. Tell everybody about us and like it.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. And give us a like and till Monday night, I guess. Fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see you later.
See you guys.
Good night,
See ya.
everybody.
Well,
See you guys.